Intergalactic planetary, intergalactic, intergalactic planetary, intergalactic planetary.
Greetings, Earthlings. It is I, Michael Vine, the founder and design director at UGO Games, which stands for Unidentified Glowing Object. Alright, got ourselves another UGO Play, which is basically a Let's Play for this development studio, I guess you could say. Indie development studio, that is. Anyways, this is Golden Axe. And no, that's not me. It really has a fast demo. You have to really choose before playing fast, you know? Anyways, let's get into the game. So I always usually pick the dwarf. Part of it is, yeah, I always do that. Gotta remember the buttons here. Okay. So, yeah, I always choose the dwarf. Part of that is because of G4. The reason I say that is G4, well, it's not around anymore. As of this year, it's gone. Completely gone. They don't even show reruns. Nothing. It was gone already last year, but at least there were reruns, and I would usually come back and watch old episodes of X-Play and Comic-Con and whatnot. But the thing is, on X-Play, on G4, they had this show. I think it was... I forgot the name of the show. But what they would do is basically make, like, little videos from, like, games like EverQuest. And they had this one video where they took the dwarf from EverQuest, and he was constantly saying the line from Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, where Gimli, he says, you'll have my ox. And he just constantly says it, like, you know, in a kind of like a music video sort of way. And it just kind of stuck with me. And this was back when G4 was awesome. Like, G4 was strictly about games. It was 24/7 video games. And, you know, I really liked it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wanted the network. And there were many great shows. I remember G4.com, which had the lovely Tina Wood on the show. Now it's Tina something else, and she works for Microsoft. And they also had the show, let's see, Judgment Day, which to me was a lot more, it was more inferior, far more superior than X-Play, because they actually had the pluses and the minuses of games, like the reasons why you want to buy it, reasons why you don't want to buy it, rather than just quickly reviewing the game like X-Play did. And then, yes, you have X-Play, which, to me, it was always Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler. Those were the two hosts that I really liked. Blair Herter, I believe that was Blair Herter, who came in to replace Adam Sessler. To me, he was a noob. Like, he didn't seem like a gamer. Adam Sessler was a gamer. He was a hardcore gamer. I mean, he was the kind of guy that definitely knew what he was talking about. He came from the experience of the industry. He had the experience from the industry, and, you know, it worked out better to me. And, you know, Morgan Webb, I mean, I didn't mind her. I thought she was, you know, she was attractive, slightly attractive. Although Tina Wood, to me, was the more attractive woman. Like, she was more classy. That's what I gotta say about Tina Wood. But then, you know, things changed. I think it was 2007 when a lot of shows on G4 got canceled, like G4.com, Judgment Day, and only X-Play and Attack of the Show remained. They even got rid of another show that I sort of watched. It was called Filter, where it was basically a top 10 countdown show of games. But the other show that I really liked on G4 was G4 Icons, which later turned into Game Makers. It was all about the video game industry, like all the guys out there that make games. Love that show. To me, that was a great show on G4. But now G4 is gone, and we have Esquire Network, which It kind of reminds me of G4, but not necessarily since it's all based off of Esquire, the Mac, you know, and I don't know. It's just not the same. The only thing that's the same is Ninja Warrior. Like, they would show that on there, and that's the only thing that reminds me of G4. But I really do miss G4. I mean, if there was a petition to make another G4, like with the same channel, which to me it was 1149, because I was always watching in HD when I got HD finally, I would definitely sign that petition. I mean, because I just miss it. I miss those great shows. I miss Tommy Tallarico. If anybody remembers Tommy Tallarico, which now he hosts Video Games Live. He always reviewed games with, I forgot the other guy's name, on Judgment Day. And, I mean, God, that show was just so unbelievably amazing. Just missed it, you know? And now, I mean, G4 is gone. I mean, none of those shows exist. You can only watch them on the internet now, and, I mean, you know, it's okay, but it's just sad. It really is sad. Anyways, it's enough talk about G4. So sad. I want to go back into this game. So, first time I ever played this game was at a roller rink near where I live. And it was actually at a birthday party. It was my my buddy's sister's birthday party. And I wasn't really into skating. I still am not really into skating, like roller skating. Skateboarding, that's different. The thing is, I didn't really care for it. So at the roller rink they had arcades, and I went to the side because their arcade games were just like basically on the outside, and they had several of them. And one of them was Golden Axe, and I thought it was the most interesting game I've played, or I've seen, because it was basically like an RPG, or it looked like it could be an RPG. But it was a beat 'em up. It was completely all, you know, medieval and beat 'em up. And see, I like those games out there that aren't RPGs. No, they're medieval and they're not RPGs, because I feel like every time you see a medieval game, it's always an RPG, or it has some RPG elements to it. This game, to me, you know, I wouldn't consider this RPG gameplay or anything. To me, it's just straight, you know, beat 'em up. And the other thing I liked about it too was the vehicles, like these dragons, which I always thought when I first got Skyrim was like, why don't they have rideable dragons? And then lo and behold, what comes out? Rideable dragons, and I believe it's Dragonborn expansion pack. And these gnomes. Funny thing is, if you guys have ever played Diablo 3, they actually do a bit of an homage, or homage to these little dwarfs, because there's actually like a dwarf that you can basically hit, and he spills out gold. And he does the same thing, except the way he escapes, he opens up a portal. And I always thought, wow, they're paying homage to this game, I guess you could say. I thought it was that. I mean, no, then again, I mean, maybe if they're just trying to go for something original, but it reminded me of that. Down he goes. Where he goes, nobody knows. Yeah, I probably said that wrong. These guys are like Bulk and Skull, well, but there are two Bulks. Yeah, I just got done talking to my my funny cousin about that. When I was little, I'm sure many of you guys have watched it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I liked it along with other shows, but then I got into Big Bad Beetleborgs because I thought that was far more superior. Mainly because there's 3 of them and they're more vulnerable. But the thing is, with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, one of the most ingenious things I thought was in that show was the comedic duo of Bulk and Skull. I thought it was interesting how they did Bulk and Skull. Like, I mean, they came off as bullies, but at the same time, they were lovable bullies. They weren't the type of bullies that were gonna, kill people. They were just, kind of social outcasts who had to pound people, but they redeemed themselves in the long end of the show. Night is about to go nighty-night. This guy has a giant shield, giant sword. Yeah, I always wondered why they didn't make a 3D beat-em-up of this. I mean, 3D beat-em-ups, they're almost like non-existent. I think the last great 3D beat-em-up was... Well, I mean, there's a couple. Fighting Force 64, to me, I thought was pretty good, even though that was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4. But the last one that I remember playing a whole lot of was Dynamite Cop. And it was basically like Under Siege. If you've ever seen Under Siege with Steven Seagal, that was pretty much what it was. You're on a ship. Instead of it being terrorists who are taking over the ship, it's pirates. And they're like these over-the-top pirates. And then you have to fight this giant octopus, not a squid. Because I saw one guy on YouTube say, oh, there's a squid in this game. Like, it's not a squid, that's an octopus, okay? There's a bit of a difference, okay? And it lags. Even when I turned down the frame per second, I guess the N64 is the best to use with this. Because it doesn't lag at all. I think I'm gonna just go until I lose all my credits in this game. These guys are very similar to what they wear in Conan the Barbarian. The armor and everything. So yeah, this is the stage in the arcade that I always got to and I could not get past because of these guys coming out of the ground. I believe that was the farthest I've gotten in the arcade version. I mean, these 2 versions, or, well, I think there's actually 3 versions of this game. There's many versions. All I know is this version is very different from the arcade version. Like, sound effects are the one thing that stands out to me. The way the guys die in this game, to me, sounds a lot better than the arcade version. Because I recently picked it up on the Wii. Well, not recently. That was like, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, when I first got the Wii. Oh, no, 4 years ago. Feels like yesterday. I got it, and I noticed some differences, basically, with sound effects. They always seem to do this. Just got done playing Battletoads, the arcade game today. First time I played it, and it was really good. Not too bad. I've never played in the arcades. I think I saw it at one arcade that's near me, but I don't remember playing it. There's many great arcade games that... Oh, I got one more credit left. Got to focus. But yeah, there's many great arcade games that I really wanted to play on like Xbox Live Arcade. A lot of light gun games that I always wondered, why didn't they release it? Like, for instance, the first House of the Dead, that was only released, okay, on Saturn. Why? Like, I don't get why they couldn't release that on, like, Xbox and all the other consoles. You know, that's the thing that bothered me about it. It really did. See, because the thing is, they had released House of the Dead 2, the second game, sequel, on all these different consoles. And, I mean, it's like, good gosh, I kind of got sick of it. And I'm like, what about the first game? I really wanted to get into the first game, because I didn't beat the first game. I beat the second one before the first game. So, this didn't make sense to me. Okay, we're getting closer to Death Adder's castle. I think that's how you say his name. Should've just got down there and hit him off the platform. And when I say 3D Golden Axe game, I'm not talking about Golden Axe Beast Rider. To me, that doesn't count, because that was only a single-player experience. I'm talking about a 3D beat-em-up like this, where you could play two people. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's the end of UGO Plays, episode 3, which was Golden Axe. UGO Plays, Golden Axe, that was it. So I'm going to be doing some more retro games. Thank you all for watching. please like, subscribe, and share this video. There will be plenty more. Alright? Alright. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Goodbye.
Intergalactic planetary, intergalactic planetary.